Hi everybody, Zizaran here, and I wanted to make a quick video about Delve. Just talk a little bit about tips and tricks, how to use it, how to find walls and shit like that. Figured I haven't done one for a while, so let's get into it. So Delve has actually been getting more and more buffed, and I was never a big fan of Delve when it got initially implemented, but now it's in a pretty good spot. So really strong mechanic, especially early league, and again, especially for solo self-found. Now, around level 50, you start discovering more and more special items, and I've already explored most of mine, but here's one special one that I haven't done, and this is what you really want to get early. So anything that says fire items, chaos items, etc. will then be able to start dropping. Well, first off, it'll give loads of fossils, loads of essences, but what it'll give that's really good is whenever you find jewelry boxes, there will be rings, and they can have leech, which is useful for some builds, like fire leech can be pretty hard to get, but they can get flammability on hit. You get all the curses that you need. So very strong, and you do it start encountering them as early as 50, so you could just go like around here or like here. You could go fairly cheaply sideways. So that's like one of the main things that you get. You obviously also get a large amount of resonators, fossils, etc. And you do start finding bosses. Like I do have a boss down here, and there are walls you can break. I'll teach and show you how to do that in a sec. Like here's a lich. These are very dangerous, and do remember they do get affected by the mods. So first off, now that we talked a little bit about what rewards and what is worth getting here, and they do just poop out currency and stuff, so very worth it just for that too. But now let's talk about how to upgrade. Once you're getting these like blue nodes, you're going to start getting azurite. And normally what I do is I upgrade light radius and flare light radius first. I try to get like 5-6 flares pretty early and at least 4 dynamite, but I pretty much never bother with darkness depth until I've started just going horizontally at around 300. Now, the reason for that is I just don't plan to spend much time in the darkness to begin with. I just regularly flare it. So I'd way rather just, you know, be in the light quite a lot more often. And with high radius on these, you're pretty much always in the light. So very easy. Generally, that's what I upgrade. And obviously you do want to have a decent amount of sulfite capacity. This is just more quality of life. It's like the least needed thing because, you know, you can just go more often. You can, like, if you have a very high capacity, then obviously you can go for a long time. Sometimes you'll find an area in the middle of this. What do you do? So I actually know that it's from here, but how do I know that? So there's some rules for delve areas, and sometimes you'll have a really good room in the middle of fucking nowhere, and that's when you got to figure out how to get to it. Now, generally the rule is there are, I would say never, but they do exist. There are never two ways. You see how this one has like an exit to the left and an exit to the right? That's generally never the case. There is, but they're so rare that they virtually never exist. So that means that when you see something like this, that means that I can go there and I can blow up the wall, and that'll unlock the secret passage. Now, while doing this, I might as well like show a little bit about how I try to like look for exits and stuff. So this one's too short, so it doesn't have one. But in the start, you can try running like quite a lot during like into the darknesses until you start like recognizing the pattern of what it looks like when there is like a wall there, because there's quite a lot of rewards behind the walls. That's where you can get the prime resonators. That's where you can get like decent things like exalted orbs and you know, headhunters, etc. Well, headhunter can drop everywhere now, but they do have a chest that especially drops like more rare items. So now, like I talked about, the fact that it's here, so I know that it's here. I don't think it's here, I know it's here. And then I just break that, and boom. And now I can go there. So sometimes there'll be harder ones. So let's see if we can find an example of that. Here is another example of an easy one. You see that this is a two-way, so it's here. Another example of an easy one, two-way, so it's here. Now, here we have a hard one. So as you can see, there's like no two-way anywhere. So they can be four ways. So it's most likely here. We can go check and see if it is here, but it's a little bit hard on some of these. So now I can see that there's not really any place I can go So I already know that it's not here because this is obviously just to the left. That means that it's most likely there. We're obviously not going to go all the way around there, but yeah, it's a more rare one. It could also be here, very rarely, most likely never, but it could be here as well. Again, like in all my time delving, I think I've had less than 3 or 4 that have actually been a 2-way. So they are incredibly rare. There can be 3 ways, there can be 4 ways, generally never 2 ways. And there are some dead ends, obviously. We can do a bit of a longer trip here, and I can sort of walk you through my thought process as we are opening things here. So I have 10 flares. I rebound my key to F. And then generally that early there wouldn't be anything. But so when you're new, you kind of want to just run into all the darkness and be like, is there a door here? And like there is one here. There's not. I lied. Okay, I'm terrible at this layout. I'd say like the green one and the petrified forest is the ones like I don't recognize the easiest. Frozen is the one I recognize the most. Here. Nope. Nope. I hate this layout. I hate this layout. But in the start, run into all of them, and there is quite a lot of rewards. There will be like things like fossils, etc. Here we have a wall. You can see it on the map there. And the easiest place to really like see them is the frozen layout. That's like so easy. And I generally would just run in every crevice in the start. And you do like eventually start like learning like where they can be, etc. Like here's a very common layout for the petrified forest. And there's hidden treasure, which is just a unique. There are like quite a few good chests as well. And yeah, fossils and resonators drop there. So whenever you're going on a very long one, you really want to make sure you have a decent amount of flares. You do get some underway as well. There's no more on this trip. And yeah, that's pretty much most of Delve. I generally on hardcore will go down to around 200 to 300 and start looking for bosses there. Generally, you get really good XP. It doesn't use a ton of sulfite, and I don't know what the meta is on softcore for what the min-max for a profit is, but 300 is pretty decent. And for getting the most amount of sulfite, Lex Proxima is really good. And even if you are full on sulfite and say you never want to delve, clicking them is still worth it because you get the alteration div card. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helps. Good luck in delve, and yeah, subscribe to the channel if you like the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.